हेलो एस्पिरेंट्स, आप सभी का हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पर स्वागत है। आज हम लोग डीएमआरसी का सिस्टम मैनेजर फाइनेंस के क्वेश्चन और उसके आंसर देखेंगे। इस वीडियो में हम लोग क्वेश्चन को पढ़ेंगे और उसका जो राइट आंसर है उसी को देखेंगे, क्योंकि डिटेलिंग वीडियो पे ये वीडियो बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा तो क्विक रिवीजन के लिए दिक्कत होगी, तो इसीलिए हम लोग चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। जॉब कॉस्टिंग इज नॉट फॉलोड इन विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन? Large enterprise manufacturing a single product. For financial year 2019-20, the tax liability of a company under the normal provision of Income Tax Act 1961 is rupees 15 lakh, while tax liability as per provisions of MAT is rupees 15.75 lakhs. The company is eligible for MAT credit of rupees 75,000. Heavy expenditure on advertising is medium-term finance. Factoring is a method of raising short-term finance against the security of debtors. Which of the following is not a head of income under Section 14 of the Income Tax Act 1961? Agriculture income. While preparing a cash flow statement, bank overdraft is considered as a short-term borrowings. Under Section 67 of GST 2017 Act, who among the following is authorized to inspect and seize? An officer not below the rank of Joint Commissioner. X Limited purchased a new plant of rupees 20 lakh. This is a investing decisions. Which of the following is the formula to calculate earning per share? EPS equal to PAT minus preference dividend divided by number of equity shares. Which of the following financial statement is not prepared by an entity on accrual basis? Cash flow statement. The CSR activities that can be undertaken by a company are provided in which schedule of the Companies Act? Schedule 7. Higher dividend per share is associated with high earning, high cash flow, stable earning and lower growth opportunities. Which of the following is not a factor that should be considered in determining whether goods or services are related? Value of goods or services. A slash N dash shall have powers which should include the following: to investigate any activities within his terms of reference, to seek information from any employee, to obtain outside legal or other professional advice, to secure the attendance of outsiders with relevant expertise if it he considered necessary. Audit committee. On 1st April 2019, Raj Limited purchased 40 pants for rupees 1000 each. On 1st May 2019, 40 similar pants were purchased from rupees 1500 each. The company sold 50 pants till 31st May 2019. The cost of goods sold using the first in first out method will be rupees 55,000. Which of the following is a limitation of auditing? Auditing is the post-mortem of past activities. Which of the following is incorrect with respect to an SPV? The investor must have divided interest in the underlying asset in it. Which of the following is an estimated cost, standard cost? Which of the following is not a type of government audit, internal audit? Joint cost is suitable for the oil industry. Amortization means writing off the intangible assets. Which of the following statement is incorrect with respect to verification of a stock in trade? Check that goods sold for as FOB shipping but not delivered are included in closing stock. Which of the following statement is incorrect with respect to investigation? Investigation cannot be conducted by a person other than a chartered accountant. The minimum number of directors in the corporate social responsibility committee of a company should be 4. As per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2030, money received against share warrants is presented under which measure head while preparing the balance sheet of a company. Shareholder funds. Which accounting standard deals with valuation of inventory? AS2. The board of every company shall ensure that the company spend in every financial year at least dash of the average net profit of the company made during the 3 preceding financial year in pursuance of its corporate social responsibility. 2%. On 1st April 2019, Raj Limited purchased 40 pence of rupees 1000 in. On 1st May 2019, 40 similar pens were purchased of rupees 1500 each. The company sold 50 pens till 31st May 2019. The value of inventory will be rupees 45,000. Which of the following is not an objective of PPPs in e-governance? No sharing of risk by the government. Contribution ratio is also called profit volume ratio. The application of tax refund under the GST 2017 Act should be made after the expiry of how many years? 1.5 years. If the fixed cost rupees 30,000 and the PV ratio is 20%, the break-even point will be rupees 1,50,000. Which of the following is the supreme audit institution in India? CAD. The minimum penalty for non-compliance of CSR as provided in the Companies Act 2013, rupees 50,000. As per Schedule 3 of Companies Act, share option outstanding account is presented under which measure head while preparing the balance sheet of a company? Reserve and surplus. Which of the following statement is incorrect with respect to verification of furniture and fixtures? Expenses on repair of furniture, fixtures and fitting are added to the cost of these items. As per section 177 subsection 2 of the Companies Act 2013, the members of the audit committee should have the ability to read and understand financial statements. Which of the following does not affect the fixed capital requirement of a business? Seasonal factors. A Limited had an opening stock of rupees 3,000 on 1st April 2019. The company expected sales rupees 15,000 in the month and closing stock of rupees 1,500. What should be the production of the company? 13,500. While preparing a cash flow statement, proposed dividend is considered as a contingent liability. Return on investment is a profitability ratio. Which of the following is not an element of master budget? Sales budget. Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013 become applicable to all companies for the preparation of financial statement for the financial year beginning from 1st April 2014. Which of the following does not affect the fixed capital requirement of a business? Credit policy. Who among the following constitute the audit committee of a company? The board of directors. Short-term highly liquid investments that are readily convertible into non-amounts of cash and which are subject to an insignificant risk of changes in value are called cash and cash equivalent. As per Schedule 2 of the Companies Act 2013, the useful life of a nuclear power generation plant is 40 years. Dash is a form of specific order costing where work is undertaken to a customer's specific requirements and each order is a specific duration contract costing. Cost unit for BPO service is account handled. Goods of the assessable value of rupees 1000 were imported from Jan Limited, assuming that the basic custom duty is 10%, the rate of IGST is 18%, the education cess of custom is 2%, and the secondary and higher education cess is 1%. The input tax credit on IGST for which the importer will be eligible will be rounded off rupees 310. Advertisement is a past of cost of goods sold. Taxpayers are required to furnish bank account information on the GST portal within how many days of the grant of registration of GST? 45 days. A sports material manufacturing company budgeted the following data for the coming year: sales 1 lakh units, rupees 1 lakh, variable cost 40,000, fixed cost fixed cost a sport materials manufacturing company budgeted the following data for the coming year: sales 1 lakh units, rupees 1 lakh, variable cost rupees 40,000, fixed cost rupees 50,000. A 20% increase in the sales volume will increase the PV ratio by 60%. Which of the following statement is incorrect with respect to break-even analysis? Proper segregation of cost between fixed and variable makes it accurate. Under the GST Act 2017, the threshold limit has been increased for goods only from rupees 20 lakhs to rupees 40 lakhs. AV Limited purchase machine for rupees 1 lakh for cash. Over the next 5 years, the machine is expected to require rupees 10,000 for annual maintenance and will generate revenue of rupees 50,000. The payback period will be 2.5 years. Cost of service under operating costing is ascertained by preparing cost sheet. Which of the following is not an advantage of the FIFO method of inventory valuation? It is advisable in rising prices. On disposal of an asset, the asset disposal account is closed by transferring its balance to the profit and loss account. On 1st January 2019, X Limited purchased 500 shirts for of a specific type for rupees 50 per shirt. 400 shirts were sold till 31st January 2019. 1000 similar types of shirts were purchased on 1st February 2019 for rupees 60 per shirt, and another 800 shirts were purchased for rupees 55 per shirt. 1500 shirts were sold in February. The value of inventory on 28th February 2019 according to LIFO method is rupees 23,000. All expensive business strategies that documented expected future sales, production levels, purchase, future expenses incurred, and capital investment is called master budget. As per Schedule 2 of the Companies Act 2013, the useful life of buildings other than factory buildings RCC framed structure is 60 years. Dash is the Dash is the examination by the auditor for all documentary evidence which is available to support the authenticity of transaction entered in the client's record. Watching. Which of the following is not a method of timekeeping? Labor cost card. Which of the following is not an advantage of a continuous audit? The records and figures in the books of accounts which have already been checked by the auditor may be altered after the audit is over. In case of lease financing, the owner of the asset is called lessor. According to Section 37 of the GST Act 2017, the registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the details of outward supplies from days of the month succeeding the tax period, the 11th day of the 15th day, 11th day to the 15th day. The maturity period of call money varies between 1 day to 15 days. As per new sub rule 13 of GST 2017 Act, a registered person can transfer any amount of tax, interest, penalty, fee to any other head in the electronic register. In this regard, which GST form has been introduced? GST PMT 9. Prime cost does not include indirect labor. Who among the following is exempted from payment of advance tax? Senior citizen above the age of 60 years. XL Limited purchased shares of rupees 5 lakh of JK Limited and received rupees 50,000 as dividend. Afterward, the transaction will be result in use of cash in investing activities. Which of the following is incorrect as per section 16 subsection 2 of the GST 2017 Act regarding entitlement to tax credit of input tax? He has furnished to the return under section 39. Dash is a system of allocation of responsibility, division of work, and method of recording transaction whereby the work of an employee is checked continuously by another. internal check. A flexible budget takes into account fixed variable and semi variable cost. तो ये था टोटल 75 टेक्निकल क्वेश्चंस डोमेन से रिलेटेड। वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू।